welcome back, and initially we're going to take a look at the new Mutagen Ooze, which includes a surprise turtle, and it appears that one of the slime will come in one of three colours. I like the canister look, it's a nice touch, very reminiscent of the 2012 Ooze, which I have a canister of here. Yeah, turtles and ooze/slime have gone together since the beginning. Not every line has taken into account. Oh, I'm just locked over the figures. Oh well. Hasn't taken into account using ooze or slime in the releases, but in my opinion, those lines which have always been the more successful ones. The original 80s, the 2012 line used ooze quite a bit, with a lot of its vehicles and playsets using those features, so it is really nice to see this brought back in. While I don't have the playset, I do know that the playset does incorporate the ability to use the ooze in it. I don't think the vehicles do, which is a bit of a shame. Would have been nice to have had some sort of play features in the vehicles which allow for the use of the ooze. The 2012 line, I know, while I didn't collect them, did have that in a lot of its vehicles, so that was a nice touch. Let's open the ooze and take a look. From what I've seen, the lid just pops off, and inside we have our baby turtle. Looks based on the colouring, I would say that's supposed to be Donnie, which is a different design to the one which comes with the figures. How that plays into the film, obviously we don't know yet. I like the fact that the shells are painted. It would have been very easy to have this in a single colour, but Playmates have taken a nice little extra touch and given us a paint app. Whether this is indicative of all of them or just mine, but you can see the paint app doesn't cover the shell completely, which is a shame, but again, it's not going to be a deal breaker, and it looks like the same's happened underneath. Still, for a solid little piece of plastic, it's a nice little figure. Inside you have the solid lid cap, which is the same as the old 2012 line. Let's pop that off and take a look at what we have. And here we have the green coloured. So you can see from the green coloured slime, that's sort of a radioactive colour. There's a slight pearlescence to it, but there's definitely a more pearlescence look in the 2012 slime. However, this looks more like the slime, or the colour of the ooze during the original release. It's quite a watery feeling slime, so hopefully it'll be nice and easy to clean up for the parents. I can see kids having a lot of fun with that. I know I will, and I'm, nearly 40. Yes. So there's not really a lot else to add with the slime. It's a fun addition added to the play features, or the playability of the line. It's always nice when the slime's included with the set. The only thing I would have perhaps liked is to have had to have dug for the turtle and the slime, like the original line did. Though I suspect today's modern health and safety features have probably restricted it for one reason or the other, which is a shame. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to add with the Mutagen Ooze. There's not really a lot else to add. Thick and sort of oozes nicely. Without the playset to have a look at this with, I can't really say much else. So yes, moving on. Alright, welcome back. After I had finished the video, I was taking off the label for the mutagen ooze and happened to notice that there is a really cool little sticker underneath detailing that it's a radioactive material. That is chemical waste and hazardous. There's a nice little crack in there. So that's a really nice touch and something that didn't need to be done, but adds a real real nice display value to it. And certainly kids will have a lot more fun being able to play with the tube and pretending that, you know, it is a radioactive, dangerous chemical. Hello. Right, since our the last part of this video regarding the mutagen ooze, I've been able to pick up 2 more, which I believe, touch wood, are the red and blue vials. While there is no obvious way of seeing which coloured ooze you get, if you look closely at the tubs, you can usually see that the packaging is either a little too far up or a little too far down, which gives you an idea of what colour that is. Don't think it's showing up here, but that appears to be the red. And yeah, here appears to be the blue. So you should be able to tell fairly easily when picking them up off the shelves which ooze you are getting. If you're unable to tell the other way, I noticed, and it could have just been the box I was looking with and everyone else could have a completely different experience, but for me, all of the ooze in the green row of the display, all of the ooze in the front of the display case was green, second row back was blue, and the third row was red. So that may also be a way of distinguishing which colour ooze you are going to get. But let's open these up and take a look at the colours. So this one should be red, and if we open it up, we get another turtle with another mould. This one's sort of head down rather than leaning up and is on 2 legs. Paint apps are better on this one, with most of the paint going over the entire shell. And looking at the colour, I think that might be Leo, possibly Raph. And yes, it looks like we've definitely got the red ooze here. So you can see here, it's definitely the red ooze, which once you've opened up, actually, I don't know if it's, I think the camera's making it brighter than it actually is, but it's more of a pinky red, very reminiscent of the colour of the vintage ooze, which if I remember rightly was sort of a purpley red. So that's a nice little addition. I'm not going to play around with this ooze. We've seen what it's like with the green. Hang on, finally what should hopefully be the blue ooze. Let's see who we've got. Here we have another turtle. Oh, thankfully this is different from our others. Again, the paint apps are a little off. But for the figure you're getting and the fact that it actually does have some paint apps, is a nice touch. This one, and I believe this one to be our Leo. So we've now got 3 of the 4. And here we have our blues. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this might be the first time that TMNT has done a blue ooze. It's a nice dark blue with some slight pearlescence in it. Yeah, other than that, that's now all 3 oozes. I may try and get another one to see if I can get the final 4th turtle, but we'll see. Next up we have our battle cycle with Raphael, so let's get this opened up and take a look. I'm just going to have a quick show of the packaging. On the back we see a product shot with Mikey, and it shows us our 2 ways of play. Our bio here is team up with Raph to take down villains on the move with the Turtles' new battle cycles. Raph steers the cycle through the streets. One of his brothers can battle at his side from behind the transformable sidecar, Turtle style. So inside the packaging you get Raphael, the bike and sidecar, which are assembled together, Raph's size, and a nunchuck, which I believe is to go on the side of the car, along with an instruction sheet. Let's have a quick look at the instruction sheet, make sure we're not missing anything obvious. So here we have our single-sided instruction sheet, which just tells us how to install Raph, where to store his weapons, and how the play feature works. Raph's size are the same as his regular release, while his figure is the same, bar his head sculpt. So his head sculpt's got a different facial expression and is obviously wearing the helmet, which is non-removable. Articulation remains unchanged from the basic figure, and there you can see the 2 different head sculpts. It's quite nice that they gave different facial expressions. Would have been very easy for them to have just given the helmet and that would have been it, but they did the extra touch of giving him a different facial expression, which is nice, and adds a new playability or something else to the collection. It's also nice that the basic figure is fully articulated. So many kids' toys which come with a free figure, especially with Bandai's old, say, Power Ranger line, where the free figure would be unpainted and unarticulated. So this is a really nice touch, and at a £10 price point for the figure makes the bike itself only sort of £10-15, which is nice. Again, good. The nunchuck for the cart is a completely different mould to Mikey's. It's a smaller chain and it has actually more paint app. If anything, I actually prefer this one to the nunchuck that Mikey had. I prefer the paint app on it, and the chain doesn't make it as long. Let's take a look at the bike. So, bike's moulded in a single blue plastic. There is some nice level of paint apps here. You have a sticker which is already applied. You have the red and green stripes. Even the wheels have a nice gold paint touch to them. Light. This is really well done, actually. I am so impressed with. Oh look, even the underside's got paint apps. This would have been so easy to have just had a single blue bike with, you know, no real paint apps beyond the additional plastic, but they had Playmats have really gone all out on this. Got some really nice silver up here, The handles are nicely painted. Side mirrors are plain, but that's fine. There's a nice little bandana wrapped around the handle. Petrol canisters even painted. And then the side cart is done as a trash can, so you would expect that to be sort of a single colour, but they've got some nice paint apps on the side, on the handles. All the wiring and things. This has been really well done in my opinion. It appears Playmates have really gone all out in preparing or presenting these, and have certainly gone on above and beyond what you would expect for a basic kids toy. You know, with the rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bikes, they had minimal paint apps and any decoration was mostly done with stickers. But with here we've got a whole host of paint apps, which is a really nice touch from Playmates. Let's look what this looks like set up. So here we have the figures posed on the bike. Raph fits fantastically on the front. There's room either side for his size, or as you can see here, he can still hold his size in his belt with no effort. He's actually seated on the bike, feet in the footwells, arms securely on the handlebars. He's really been well done. You know, going back to the Rise figures, their bikes, the turtles were too small for the bikes, and they sort of rose up and didn't hold on to them well. They looked disproportionate to the actual bikes themselves, but here he sits well, he looks well. The bike, the sidecar clips securely into the back and nicely fits one of the turtles. I would have personally liked a foot peg or something into the back to hold the turtle in place, but otherwise that's fine. There is some hand grips there, and you can bend the turtle forward to hold on to the back. Otherwise they can come out, like you see, without the footwell they do fall, which is a bit of a shame. That unclips, and we can see that this comes forward and fits nicely on the side. So the side cart then clips into the side there and rolls along. Wheel rolls, moving the nunchuck. Does seem to get stuck a little, but otherwise it's nice and movable. Sorry, Mikey. Let's see how this works. You have your figure standing, and they come along and knocks it over. Yeah, I can see kids having a lot of fun with this, and collectors, it will make a nice display piece in your collection. Overall, I am really happy with this. It's nicely done. Some nice paint apps, play features, fun. I like the ability that the sidecar can move from front to back with no effort. I would have liked a foot peg in there just so that the turtles could stand. Given their sizings and things, I don't see this fitting your villains, but this should fit all of the turtles no problem. Out of curiosity, I'll use Mikey again. No, sadly the original figures are too big to fit in the sidecar, but you might be able to get them sat on the bike. It'd be interesting to see if this plays a part in the film, and if it does, in what capacity it plays. But other than that, I don't have much more else to add to the bike, except I am so impressed with how well this is done. If you only pick up one, I can't say that, I haven't even looked at the party van yet, but overall this is a fantastic vehicle. And I can see collectors and children alike being really happy with it. And with that, we should move on to looking at the pizza van. And here we have the pizza fire van. This is the front of the box. As you can see, it's got a product shot here with the firing pizzas. The brick motif, which has become standard with all of the Mutant Mayham packaging. The top of the box is the same. One side gives us another product shot showing the storage for the turtles. The back gives us a summary of the play features. The bio for the van, which is these turtles deliver justice and pizzas on time, guaranteed. Get all the turtles assembled and load them in their new pizza van. With the van's mobile pizza launcher, they combine turtle power and pizza power to blast the baddies into submission. Then the alternate side shows the pizza launch feature, and underneath has obviously all the legal mumbo jumbo, a summary of what can be expected inside, and a product placement shot for the other figures and vehicles in the line. So let's get this opened up and see what it looks like. So opening the box up top, you can see how it's been packaged in with a couple of lips, all in the purple brick motif. And then other than that, the vehicle's packed loose. Let's take this out and take a look. So here we have it as it comes out of the box. There is a sticker sheet, which we'll go through in a bit. But surprisingly, there were a number of stickers already applied. We have the turtle power on the side. Nothing applied on the back. We have a number of the stickers applied here, including the big pizza logo and the turtle power on the front wheel here. I was quite surprised that that was all pre-applied, which makes that a nicer, neater lineup. Oh, and the pizza launcher itself is obviously looks like it's got a couple of stickers on it as well. And then packaged here is the pizza topper and various accessories, and it looks like the wheels are packed in the back of the van. So I'm going to get this all opened up, set up, looked at, and we'll come back. And here we have the pizza fire van fully assembled and stickers applied. The stickers are really easy to apply, and the instructions sheet talks you through it really easily. There's about 30 plus stickers to apply in total, but nothing's too difficult to apply. It says to assemble the pizza fire van first and then apply the stickers. However, I applied the stickers first and then assembled. I think you may find that's a little easier, especially for some of the trickier stickers. Otherwise, there's nothing too strenuous. I will say that kids will probably want an adult assisting them in assembly, just because things like the roof rack require a real firm push to get it clipped into place. The van itself looks really good. It's done in a simple yellow mould plastic with a green spray paint around the edge. However, the stickers really do make this pop and come to life. I can see kids having a lot of fun with this. I can also see this being a really nice looking thing on a collector's display shelf. My biggest gripe with it is probably the plastic's feels thin. You can see there the back's just popped open and I barely put any pressure on it. Other than that, it's really nicely done. The wheels have turtle power molded into them, which is nice. They've got a nice grey spray here, which is a nice touch. There's plenty of room for all the turtles, both inside and out of the van. You can see there's plenty of places for them to grip onto on the outside of the van, or for the turtles to sit into the van. So there's space for 2 turtles up front. To sit them in, you just pop the front off. The only downside is that there isn't a way to secure them into the seat. It could have done with maybe some pegs for the feet, or preferably perhaps we have the wheel a little smaller so that the turtles can reach the steering wheel properly. However, it's not a deal breaker by any means. The back of the van itself will pop open, and there's room for all 4 turtles to stand in there. Again, there's no pegs to actually hold them, so if they're standing and you're rolling it about, they will topple over. Whether it's intentional or not, however, there is enough space for you to stand the bike in there. It does need to rest up slightly on top of the pizza launcher, but otherwise it does fit nicely, so you can pop it open and wheel the vehicle out. But as you can see, otherwise there is plenty of space here. The main play feature of the van is the pizza launcher. To activate the pizza launcher, you press down on the pizza, and that springs out the pizza launcher and opens the door. That has just popped that off though. Let's have a look, see if we can fix that back on without any. So there we go, that's better. Let's try that again, shall we? So clip it all in, and then you just press the part and it launches out. A turtle will sit in there nicely. It was a little tight getting Mikey in, and I found I had to take his nunchucks off to get him in. You can spread the arms to fit into the grips, which do move. There's a little aiming mechanism here for the turtle to see through, which does rotate. The top of the launcher aims up and down slightly. There's an off and on mechanism here, and it does take 3 AA batteries. There is a cover for it, I just haven't put the cover back on for the purposes of this video. You get 8 pizzas to launch, and there are stickers for all 8 of the pizzas. The sticker remains the same throughout. So all you need to do is take the pizzas, place them into the launcher, switch it on, and then fire. And that fires really nicely. Let's see, shall we? Shall we see if we can get one of the villains? There's Rocksteady coming at the turtles, and then we fire. The fire's too high, which is a little disappointing, but if you're at a further distance to them, you will be able to get them with a solid hit. Let's see if I tilt this up and see if it actually has enough power to knock them over, shall we? So there's not quite enough power to knock them over, but it does hit them with the right pull. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have a lot else to add to this. I think this is a really cool kids toy, but yet it's nice enough to maintain as a display piece for collectors. Besides the lack of foot grips in some of the places, I have no real additional notes or wants with this. It seems fair for the price point you're paying, which is about £40. Given, you know, other play kids features out today, that does seem like a fair price. While it does feel like a thinner plastic to what was maybe around in the 80s and 90s. It still feels like a solid piece. I like the touches or the nods to the vintage toy line, with it being the yellow and the green, there being a pizza launcher, which is obviously a separate toy from the vintage line. The Turtle Power sticker is a nice touch. So yeah, it's a really good piece. If you're collecting this line or you have kids, I would highly recommend this to add to the collection for your kids to enjoy playing with. And at the end of the day, that is the most important thing to remember with these. These aren't collector's pieces. They're not designed to sit on a shelf and look nice. They are designed to be played with by young kids. And at the end of the day, if they are appealing to a child, then they've achieved what Playmates set out to do. And in my opinion, these would be appealing to any kid who is into Turtles, or any parent who is looking to get their kids into Turtles. And the same, as I said in the earlier videos, goes for all these figures. They all look great. They're well detailed, highly articulated. They look nice. They're solid enough that, kids can bash them about and not have to worry about breaking. But equally, collectors can put them on a shelf and have a nice display out of them as well. So yeah, as I've said, highly recommend this line all round. I'm really excited to see Turtles back on shelves in a big way. While I was probably in the minority and actually enjoyed Rise, I do think some of the toys were lacking. It didn't succeed, and it quickly fizzled out, which was a shame. But from what I've seen, these toys are flying off the shelves. I had to order all of these off. Besides the turtle figures themselves, I had to order all of these off Smith's website because a number of figures weren't in stock in my store. I've been in about 2-3 times now in the past week and a half, and each time the shelf has gone from being near empty to full, back to being near empty again. So these are flying off the shelves as they speak, which says a lot. It's great to see the Turtles back, and I'm really looking forward to this film. I hope the film succeeds. I hope we get a trilogy out of it, which I think is planned. I hope that this inspires Nickelodeon to launch another cartoon series. But yeah, overall, really great toy line, great figures, and I'm really looking forward to displaying these. Thank you for watching, and I will be back. Goodbye.